Hello, my little blueberries. Welcome back to Transformation Realness, the only show all about people who are doing their best to make the world of work less shitty and have the guts to share their story. The good, the bad, and most of all, the real. This podcast is produced in partnership with RepCap and hosted by yours truly, the irrepressible Kyle Lagunas, head of strategy and principal analyst at Aptitude Research, the leading boutique research firm covering HR tech and transformation. Maybe you've heard of it? Today's episode is the next installment of Built on Workday, the birth of a new HR tech ecosystem, and it takes us to the core of my day job as an industry analyst. And let me tell you, we are diving into some next level insights. Picture this, a conversation that bridges the innovation of HR tech with the practical needs of organizations. And we're not talking pie in the sky ideas here, no. Today, we're getting real about partnerships, platforms, and the actual work it takes to make HR transformation stick. I'm sitting down with none other than Dave Wachtel, the general manager of talent products at Workday, who leads everything from talent optimization to learning and onboarding. And of course, he's covering skills too. We'll unpack how Workday is changing the game with their partner ecosystem strategy, what it means to empower customers with tools like Extend, and how Built on Workday might just be the blueprint for the future of innovation in this space. Let's get into it. Okay, hello everyone. Hi, my little blueberries. Welcome back to a very special episode of Transformation Realness. We are coming to you live from the back of a bus in Las Vegas. We're at HR Tech, and Workday, teeny tiny little HCM company nobody's ever heard of, is got this like sick setup. We are in a full podcasting studio, and I'm sitting down with one of my dear friends, Dave Wachtel. Hi, Dave.
Hey, Kyle. How are you? Good to see you in the back of this bus.
I know. Like, literally, when you guys told me we were doing this, I was like, I mean, that sounds cool, I guess. We'll do it. And then, like, walking in here is like, this is amazing.
Yeah, it definitely came out better than I think a lot of us thought when we heard the concept of, like, oh, yeah, the bus, and there'll be a podcast booth in the back. And it's actually... It's a really comfortable, nice experience, especially as an opportunity to kind of take a step off of the expo floor. Yeah. There's a lot going on out there. It's a nice little chill, calm space for sure.
For those who don't know, who are you and what do you do?
My name's Dave Wachtel, and I'm the general manager of our talent products at Workday. So I'm ultimately responsible for the roadmap, the strategy, and the execution of everything that Workday builds and sells in talent. So that's recruiting, candidate engagement, learning, talent optimization, and talent management. It's the bulk of our skills capabilities, onboarding, our Journeys product, which is like our employee experience overlay, as well as Peakon, Voice of the Employee.
How much sleep do you think you get in a given week? That's a lot of work, girl.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, my EA is trying really hard to schedule more of that sleep into the calendar.
Oh my God.
No, it's Workday believes firmly in work-life balance, and we try to make sure that we get through all the important work things while simultaneously, sleeping occasionally.
Yeah, seeing your partner and your kids.
Them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, them. You've been in the space for a while too. Like, this is not your first stint leading.
Yeah. I was. I actually got my start in HR tech at Cornerstone On Demand back in 2011. I was one of the early product managers there. And I was the person that got the opportunity to say, hey, Cornerstone's built a lot of stuff in learning. And Adam Miller, the CEO, was like, I'd like to make money some other ways. and how can we do that? And so I got to experiment in performance management and goals and onboarding. And the thing that really took off was applicant tracking. And so I actually had the opportunity to build an applicant tracking system from nothing. And we had a pretty good run there selling applicant tracking out of Cornerstone. There's still customers, some pretty big companies using it today. And I did that for almost 6 years. Felt like I was ready to take a break from HR tech. I went to Amazon for a number of years. I moved up to Seattle, and then somehow I found myself back into HR tech in 2020.
Come back, baby.
Yeah, honestly, like I don't know that people that would understand that aren't from the industry. My wife certainly doesn't understand, but there's definitely something about it. Like I enjoy the both the creativity, the energy, the relationships, and people that I've met over time, but also, man, when I was at Amazon, I was helping make fulfillments, deliver your package, a couple hours earlier in like the Christmas time period. And at a certain point, you kind of sit back and you're like, what am I doing?
What am I doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think HR technology is a really cool space because not to get all like emotional about it, but it's a space where we actually are impacting.
It matters. The work
people's
matters.
lives. It matters. I think when like the biggest things that happen in someone's lives are like, they get married, they have a kid, there's maybe deaths in the family, and then there's like getting a job offer.
Yeah.
It changes everything. It moves
Getting a promotion.
Getting a promotion. You could move to a different city. You could take on a whole new team and the people that you work with every day. And I think we, at least what we do in HR tech, we are striving to make those people's lives even just a little better. And I think sometimes we get it right and sometimes we don't, but like at least we're in the business of trying. We're trying to make people's lives better. I think that's pretty cool.
I mean, that is like the perfect setup for what I want to talk about. So this week, I have this opportunity to do this podcasting here in the bus, and I knew immediately what I wanted to do. Carl, your new CEO, has been really bullish on expanding your partner program, and this is something that is unique in our space. A lot of the traditional HCMs, they want to have total wallet share, right? They want to do it all. They want to go as wide and as deep as they can, right? And that has been the model for a long time. You guys are still building a ton of product. I mean, you just listed off like 8 different things that are under you. And those are just categories of product, by the way, right? But I really like seeing that because this work matters, that what matters most isn't just like wallet share, or competitive environments. It's actually bringing value to the customers. And so this week we're talking about built on Workday, because the partnership ecosystem, they were already good partners before we got this ramp up, but I think that's accelerating some relationships with existing partners, bringing new innovators to the table. I have to imagine that for you, it's kind of fun to see, there's so many innovators in our space. Now I actually get to work with some more really cool people.
Yeah, it's fun on a lot of different levels. It's fun on a technical innovation level. It's fun on a creating value for our customers level. And it's fun on a competitive level. And I think, if you were talking to Workday even 4 years ago, I think we thought we were very much the center of the universe, and we were gonna build everything, and that wasn't a bad strategy. It was the right strategy at the time. So I don't look at it and say like we were doing something wrong, but the space has evolved, and more importantly, the demands of our customers have evolved. And I still think we think of Workday as being a really important body in that universe, but maybe not the center of the universe. Maybe we're like the sun. We're still an important part, but we're like a little bit. We need to work with those around us, and at the end of the day, the thing that's going to make Workday successful is happy, successful customers. And to the extent that we can help open that up, accelerate that, make that more possible, we win. We all win, and they win. And so we were kind of moving in the trajectory of enabling partners and integrations even before Carl joined. I mean, some of the things we launched initially in Extend, the original business case on that predates Carl, but when Carl came in, he really like put his foot on the accelerator on making sure that every one of our teams, every one of our technology teams, our roadmaps and our strategy were really moving in the direction of empowering customers to build things on Extend and partners now to build on Built On.
What's Extend?
What's Extend? So Extend is a platform that we've been working on for the last couple of years that enables customers to build out their own applications and experiences in Workday. They get to benefit from all of the data and the security and the privacy and all the great things that we have in Workday. And they can also leverage the same experience set. So their users don't necessarily know if they're using a Workday delivered experience or if they're getting something that was delivered on Extend. And what Extend allows us to do, what allows customers to do is, if you see something you need in a unique requirement or something specific or something that Workday doesn't do, before Extend, your options were submit brainstorms and wait for Workday to build it, or go buy some partner who's doing that like one little niche thing and integrate it. Extend has opened up
build a custom integration for it, maintain a custom integration for it that's probably not bi-directional.
Yeah, and Extend has opened up a whole nother layer of innovation for our customers. So for the last few years, you've gotten everything that our teams build from an innovation standpoint, and then you also got everything that customers could build for themselves. And I was just looking at the stats. We have over 2,000 Extend apps live in production. We have 1,000 customers that are using Extend, that have built things out, and we have over 8,000 Extend developers in the community. Because I think it's good to think of Extend as not just a platform, it is, but it's also like an ecosystem in a community. There are over 8,000 people out there who are developing on Extend.
Didn't you guys actually have a developer con, like bring together a bunch of these nerds?
Yeah, we have DevCon, and it happens once a year. I think it happens in like late spring, early summer, and it used to be a small group of people, like a couple dozen at these small roundtables, and the last one they did, there's like full expo floor, and they do 24-hour hackathons. And
That's
they build
cool.
really cool things. And I think one of the neat things about it is not only is it giving customers the opportunity to create that innovation and build those apps that we hadn't built otherwise. But I said before, one of the things I'm really excited about is kind of the competition. I think it's making all of us better.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing what is possible. We're seeing what customers could build with capabilities on Workday, when in places where we might have said, it's not a big enough opportunity for us to invest in, or it's too niche for this one use case. They're showing us, these Extend developers and customers through their innovation investment are showing us that these things can get built.
That's pretty neat. And I also feel, look, the reason why I jumped at the opportunity to come and have these conversations this week is because as an industry analyst, a lot of the consideration that we have is like, what does leadership in this market look like? Traditionally, it's been market share, right? And like customer growth and momentum, like features that are being released, like those were the tried and true like KPIs of what leadership looked like. For me, and I'm a geriatric millennial, a little bit of an emotional person, right? Like, I think that the ethos of this initiative and the spirit of this strategy, that's the kind of market leadership that we need, right? Where it is the customer's needs that are the driver of innovation. It's not just us trying to grow wallet share or us trying to corner a market. Like, no, we're going to corner HRs, like the HR market, by bringing them more impact and more value to them than anybody else. And I want to see every other major provider in our space doing the same thing, because this is something that every customer needs. It's not like a unique Workday problem, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's why I brought up you being in the space before, because we've seen other companies that are like, we're going to do all of it ourselves, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it is the next phase of innovation, I think, for our space. I think customers, businesses demand more now than they did before, and especially as you see the OCHR, the Chief Human Resources Officer, and to a certain extent the CFO, and the other parts of our business stepping up and having a bigger seat at the table. They not only command more direction, but they have more influence and they command more dollars. And so, to the extent that Workday can be the platform where they can come and get those solutions even when we haven't built them, and they can get them sooner and they get them faster, and they can use Extend to do that. I think that is the future. I mean, AI also, right? Like that also plays a huge part in it too.
The business doesn't care that Workday doesn't see enough opportunity to build that application themselves.
Exactly. That's exactly right. It's being customer centric is not new to Workday. We've always prided ourselves on being a very customer focused business, but we're also a business too, right? Yeah. And so like there are lots of things that have always made a lot of sense to us.
Yeah, we're not running a nonprofit here and just like loving-doving each other up, like, all over the place. You got to make priorities. You got to make choices, right? Yeah. You have limited resources, limited capacity,
and everyone does too. So do our competitors. They have limited resources, and what we're doing with Extend and Built on Workday is we're taking the limitations that we have on what we can do, and we're trying to take those off the table, right? And we're trying to make it more possible for customers to build their own things. And we haven't even really talked about Built On yet. Yeah.
Well, talk to me a little bit about Built On then. What is it? I mean, because I thought I came up with an idea. I was like, my campaign, like my story, the thread I'm pulling through here is Built on Workday. And Jen Newman, the head of analyst relations here for HCM, she's like, oh, they're going to love that. They're doing a Built on campaign themselves. I'm like, oh, wow, okay.
I'm sure you'll get appropriate.
It was my idea first.
Yeah, we heard it here first. I'll make sure they know that. But yeah, Built on is equally, if not more exciting than what we're doing with Extend. They're separate. They're not the same thing, but leveraging some of the same like platform and underlying technology. But Built On is turning Workday into creating the opportunity for Workday to be more of a marketplace where partners can actually build apps directly in Workday. Now with Extend today, when you build an app, you're building it in that customer tenant. It's not really reusable. You can rebuild them over and over again. Extend is a different built on Workday is a different framework. Partners can build an app or a capability set built on Workday, and then they can redistribute it. They can centrally manage it. They can charge for it. They can make money on it. They can do updates to it to all the customers that they're working with. We announced it Rising last week that built on Workday is currently in EA. We have 8 EA partners that we're working with already. I got to look at my list to remember them, but we got ADP, Strata, Avalara, Kainos, Cognizant, Huron, Highland, and PwC are all actively building apps. I know that for Kainos, for example, they have over 500 customers already who they're working with, who said they're going to sign up for the app that they're building around document management and more than that. And we think this is a really powerful next step of innovation for
you're already getting the validation for that. People are wanting these things, which I think is super cool. But all right, well, so yeah, we're talking about momentum. We're talking about like all the numbers of like all these people getting in this blah blah blah. Workday historically with their partner program is very like intentional.
Yep.
I want to say calculating. I mean, and it wasn't just like, oh, we have a mutual customer, then you're a partner. Like, you guys were very intentional about who you let in, right? And this is not an open cattle call now, right? No. Can we talk about how, because look, people are clamoring. Every vendor wants to be a part of this, right? Like clamoring to be a part of it. How are you maintaining the integrity of these partnerships at this scale that you're moving through now? I think that's an important part of this being successful too.
Yeah, it's absolutely one of the reasons that we've always had such a high bar for partners and people that we put the Workday logo next to is that we think that the Workday brand stands for something. We think it stands for trust. We think it stands for reliability, and we've always wanted customers to know that if they were working with a customer that was partnered with Workday, they're good. For whatever our voice was worth in that conversation, we were able to say, hey, this is a reliable, legit partner that you can work with. Unfortunately, like that, to a certain extent, that level of rigor doesn't scale. And in this world where we were talking about before about needing to create more partnership opportunities and capabilities for our customers, we need to create new programs and new processes. Our partnership program has undergone a complete re-overhaul over the course of the last 6 months. It's something we could go deeper in, but we're still maintaining a bar of credibility. There's still application processes. You still need to have mutual customers. You still need to have references. But in order for us to scale, we have to just change a little bit how we're thinking about it. And we think in the end of the day, we'll benefit and our customers will benefit from it. And if we learn that there are bad actors or partners that are coming in and doing things that they shouldn't do, I think we'll be on top of that.
Yeah. You're going to have to be, because bringing it all the way back, it's the customer that matters most. And trust has always been a part of the ethos for Workday, 100%. Moving people to cloud, they had HR leaders, there's the CTOs, they were really making a big bet on you all, right? And that's a really vulnerable moment for them to take that kind of risk. I think that the trust piece has to be maintained. I mean, especially with this. Innovation cycles are absolutely out of control right now.
So fast.
There's just so much that people can build and deliver. And I think that trust piece, you guys are going to have to be arbiters of trust as well, right?
Yeah.
And it brings a new, I think, responsibility for you all as the core partner, maybe, the sun to these different, in the center of this solar system or whatever. And I think that is... I'm glad that you're sensitive to it. I expect you to be sensitive to it. And I, as an analyst, I got to stay on top of you guys about it to know how is this actually going.
And we'd ask you too, and the other analysts, the other folks we work to, and our customers will keep us more honest than anyone. But we put a lot of value. We do put a lot of value in the brand, in the trust that we think we've built. We know it's easily lost, and it's hard to gain back.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
So as we go through all of this, but I think we can still even elevate the level of trust in some of these things. For example, in Built On, you get access to our AI gateway, where we have a number, I think there's 6 or so AI models and APIs that partners get access to that are Workday-powered models, things like Skills Cloud, for example. where you can now, if you're a partner and you want to build something really cool in skills, you can do that through Built On, and you get to rely on. I mean, AI is like the big topic these days, right? And we talk a lot about outcomes and the excitement of what AI can do, but I'm in just as many conversations with customers about the concerns and the holdbacks and hesitations about trust and bias and all those things. And we think we can extend Workday Trust through enabling you to build apps and partners to build apps leveraging our AI models.
Yeah. That are vetted, trusted.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, that's why I see this as a new type of leadership that I think others need to, they also need to follow this example, especially because innovation's happening so fast. And I feel like HR organizations are getting really bogged down with deeper technical scrutiny of these products and applications than ever before. It's stalling innovation for the HR organization. They can't keep up with these things, right? So I think it just helps them to move faster, to stay on the edge, but do it feeling like they're going to be okay, right? It's not willy-nilly, right? We're just flying by the seat of our pants.
Yeah.
Well, Dave, thank you for coming. I appreciate you hosting us, but then also just bringing this kind of thought leadership to market. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. It's always a great time chatting with you, Cal.
Yeah, bye, Dave.
And that's a wrap, folks. Massive thank you to Dave for joining me and serving up some serious realness about innovation, partnerships, and building a better future for HR tech. Workday's commitment to empowering customers, whether it's through Extend, their AI gateway, or Built on Workday apps, is setting a new standard for leadership in the space. And here's the key takeaway. In an era where innovation is moving at a breakneck speed, success is about more than just flashy new features. It's about trust, impact, and enabling HR teams to deliver value without getting bogged down in technical details. Workday is leaning into this challenge, and honestly, it's the kind of leadership we all need right now. Big thank you to Workday and to you, my fabulous listeners, for sticking with me through another deep dive into the guts of HR transformation. I'll be back soon with the bold conversations, sharp insights, and of course, a little side of sass. Until next time, stay curious, stay gutsy, and above all, stay real. We'll catch you on the next episode of Transformation Realness.